Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about pocket rescissions and Trump losing again. This is one of those things that sounds like boring Capitol Hill procedures and jargon that is actually really important and is going to feature prominently in budget discussions that may lead to a government shutdown. It's a lot like how we talked about the bird rule for months, and then it became the thing that stopped the worst parts of Trump's one big beautiful bill. Yes, it was actually going to be worse than what got passed, if you can imagine. A judge ruled that a pocket rescission was in fact illegal. The judge gave the Trump administration until the end of the month to spend the money appropriated by Congress and said, quote, "There is not a plausible interpretation of the statutes that would justify the billions of dollars they plan to withhold." Quick civics lesson. Congress controls the money. The president is supposed to be the congressional errand boy when it comes to spending money and doing it in the way he was instructed. That's how the Constitution is set up. So, when Congress passes spending bills, the president has to do it. Beyond that, there's a law called the Impoundment Control Act that sets out rules for withholding money. Basically, the president can send a message to Congress saying, "Are you sure about spending this money?" and pause the spending for 45 days. If the money gets clawed back, that's a rescission. Trump is trying to engage in a so-called pocket rescission, where the intent to withhold the funding is announced with less than 45 days before the end of the fiscal year. This effectively cancels the money. That pocket rescission was just ruled illegal. It matters because this is a major hurdle for any government spending package. Democrats have no reason to work out a deal if Trump could just not spend the money and undermine the deal, congressional power, and the Constitution for that matter. So now Trump will, and probably already has, appeal to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. From there, it's off to the Supreme Court. This will probably be mostly ignored by the big outlets because it isn't juicy. But the outcome of that case will shape budget questions and ultimately shape the odds of a government shutdown. I'll put a video down below from the second channel that goes over the various strategies from Republicans and Democrats as we move toward the shutdown deadline at the end of the month. This whole thing is the result of Americans not understanding that the office of the presidency isn't actually supposed to be the boss. When it comes to the money, Congress has the power of the purse. We'll see if the Supreme Court agrees with one of the most fundamental premises of the United States, and one of the things that has acted as a check against executive overreach. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.